What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Yo, what's poppin', all my peeps? It is I, your host with the most, Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your captain of all things nonsensical, Patty Pitts, welcoming you back to my house for another edition of the House Show presented to you by Underground Industries. It is just me, Patty P, down by the river on Riverside here in the house this week. The porch is all closed up. All right, KB is off doing founding father activities. I don't know what that is. That's why he's El Jefe. And I'm just here in the house, going to talk wrestling with you for the next 45 minutes to an hour because it is Royal Ramble Part 2. We got another Royal Ramble edition of the House Show where we go stream of consciousness, man. There's just couple things that we want to talk about, and then I'm going to do something new here because if you're not trying something new, you're not evolving. Evolution is a mystery, and I'm trying to solve it. Anyways, excuse those bars that I just dropped on you. But yeah, we got another Royal Ramble edition of the House Show where I'm going to break down the news that I've seen this week, especially with TNA, the crazy news there, and how they have Slammiversary a week from Sunday, and news drops about them, and that's crazy. AEW was awesome last night, and I talked about it a little bit over at No Nights Off, but I would like to talk about it more here in the house. And then Raw happened, there's stuff with WWE that I can talk about, but yeah, we got a whole lot of nonsense coming at you in the house this week. And if you want to contribute to the conversation, listen, the house show is made so that we get people like yourselves, the peeps, to call in and ask me anything about wrestling because I am a goddamn walking encyclopedia. Okay, I know it all. All right, go check out 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? I don't even know at this point, where KB gave me the house show pop quiz pilot, first one ever, and your boy got a 23 out of 25. All right, I haven't seen Stash Club put up those numbers. Jimmy from the Q is really slacking over there, and I want to be challenged. That's how we get better, and that's how we meet incredible people, build the community that we have. So please call in. Speakpipe.com/official house show. Use that phone that's in your pocket. Instead of dialing a number or even old school with the whole rotary. No, it's as easy as just going to speakpipe.com/official house show and ask me literally anything about professional wrestling. It can be obviously WWE. I mean, hello. But you can also TNA. I watch TNA. Hello, there you go. The Hardys, because hello, I'm wearing their necklace, and even the Indies as well. All right, I'm going to a Brockton show, Pro Wrestling Super Show, next Friday, a week from tomorrow, to witness BRG become champion with the fam, and then I'm going to TNA Slammiversary. All right, so give me your thoughts about those shows, or even ask my thoughts about those shows. I don't care, just freaking ask it. Speakpipe.com/official house show. All right. Let's kick things off with WWE. All right. They are the number one out of all. Or are they? Depends on who you ask. They had Raw this week, and the only highlights that I will bring up from Raw will be that finally we're going to get Seth versus Braun in a cage. I would like to see Braun win that match. It only seems fitting. And that Jacob Fatu is actually a good thing for the bloodline, okay? Because a lot of people are trying to compare the two right now, of the OG with Sami Zayn and Solo. And this one right now with just the Usos and Jacob Fatu. And they're different. They're very different. Because the first one was more of a unit to protect Roman. And it's because of family. And now with Jacob added to the mix, it seems like they're trying to make a super team of their own family and that everyone plays a role. Jacob just has the Brown Ulafala right now, the higher role, because he is on Roman Reigns' level. He is an ass kicker. He does what he wants. He's unhinged. You know, there's Jimmy and Jay don't have that. We're seeing glimpses of it with Jay's anger spasms that he has, and also the promo that he cut on SmackDown or Raw. I forget which one of the two, but it was promo of the year I've heard out of Jey Uso. And that's the difference there, is that you can't compare the two because they are different. The different stories are being told with the other. Like now you throw Solo into the mix with the MFTs and Roman trying to tease it like that being teased right now. And Jacob is the middleman in that. You know, it's cool. You know, it is. I like to see them go that direction with the bloodline rather than just playing the hits. You could argue they're kind of playing the hits right now, but I don't know. There's glimpses there that seem different. They're doing more with it than they did the last time, and even with what they did with it in the Solo Sokoa, build up to 40 iteration. I really have enjoyed the bloodline so far. A lot of people were bitching online that they're burying Jacob Fatu by having him lose. It's not burying if afterwards they continue to book him just as strong. The only difference of Jacob Fatu of today, right now, and Jacob Fatu of, I'll say, like 3 months ago, maybe, is that he just lost to Roman Reigns. That's it. Okay, he's the tribal chief. All right. At the end of the day, it still continues the story. Jacob still is as strong as ever. He just had a setback. You're supposed to have setbacks. That's the whole point. That's how you stay interesting, stay captivating. You don't become stale. I really enjoyed that. And then I really enjoyed the main event. I really enjoyed the main event because it did a job. I like when people do their jobs. I was born a Patriots fan. It was instilled, do your job. That's all I do, is just do my job. And Obafemi went out there and did a job to squash Dominic Mysterio and steamroll over Judgment Day, even with JD McDonough's help, because JD McDonough tried to get in the mix. God bless him for trying. And it made him even more of a star. It's building on them creating the monster that is Obafemi. Now, a lot of people were talking about if Dominic Mysterio was going to steal this win because of a Brock Lesnar interference. I was one of those people over No Nights Off with Sarah, and even here too, that we were going to see Dirty Dom and someone win King of the Ring, and then King and Queen of the Ring of Dom and Liv. Yeah, I thought about it, but then Oba happened. I went, okay, cool. That's how I fine with it. We're now potentially going to see Brock interfere with the match at Night of Champions. Absolutely, I could see that. And then Jey Uso now is King of the Ring and goes after Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Because that's still continuing the Bloodline story. And that's what I'm alluding to with the difference in the Bloodline story, is that the first time around, it was only one person. It was the tribal chief. He meant everything to the Bloodline. And then everyone followed in order to him. Now we've evolved. Jay's become his own person. We've seen it because he pinned the tribal chief. He won the big one in the World Heavyweight Championship. Now it's time for Roman and Jay to stand side by side and both hold gold for the family. That is why Jacob Fatu is obeying Roman Reigns, because Jacob Fatu lost to the head of the table, and he knows for the good of his family, he needs to follow the orders of the tribal chief, but he's gonna do it his way. He's gonna do it the way a Samoan werewolf does it. So that's fine. That, like, cool, great. And if you challenge Cody, all right, it's not bad. But what's CM Punk gonna do? What is CM Punk gonna do at SummerSlam now? It was reported today that CM Punk is planned to have a significant part in SummerSlam 2026, reported by WrestleVotes per Fightful Select. And I like that. That's what should be happening. Give him the time off. That's why he has the time off right now. Is they're building him up for SummerSlam. Great. Summer Punk. However, it's got to be for a championship at least, right? I assume so. I believe it should be against Cody Rhodes. They teased it enough, right? They teased it twice already, I'm pretty sure. So why not give it to us at SummerSlam? Oh, we got to do the bloodline stuff. Fine, okay. Then CM Punk better be going after the World Heavyweight Championship. And who is that? It's Roman Reigns, and he just lost him at WrestleMania. So there's a lot going on, and I've always been an optimistic wrestling fan, even in the darkest days, that it'll all end up working out in some way, and we're gonna see CM Punk. It'll all work out. That's how I try to imagine it, but there's so much going on, with the title picture. And you have to build up SummerSlam. You have to build up the show in August and get through Night of Champions. And by getting through Night of Champions, you have to pick King of the Ring winner. Who's that King of the Ring winner going to be? Is it going to be Javon Evans? That'd be a shock. You want to throw a wrench into plans? Have Javon Evans win King of the Ring. Could you imagine Obafemi Javon Evans final? That would be sick. Could also add to the bloodline story of Jay losing. I don't want to see that, though, because it's just a lot of rinse repeat, but it could happen. It could happen. And yeah, we're in the bloodline vortex, so why not talk about him? LA Knight still stuck in the bloodline vortex, losing to Jay in that fatal 4-way match. And he lost him and then went out and had it out with him on Raw. And it just sucks. I wish there could be something for LA Knight right now. I wish he could throw him in the Intercontinental title picture, but at this point it seems pretty below him, which is shocking to me, So yeah. A little bit of a whirlwind we got there on Raw, talking about the bloodline. Starting to calm down. Crazy. It's crazy. Do it like I just went on a tear there. All right. I'd like to hear you go on a tear. Speakpipe.com/official house show. All right. Do you feel that passionately about the bloodline? Is Roman Reigns your OTC? Let me know. Speakpipe.com/official house show. All right. Those are all the real important stuff from Raw. All right. NXT. Yeah, we watched that this week. And it's crazy how they can have so many call-ups to the main roster and not miss a beat when bringing up the next... what do we call them? Next people up. Tony D'Angelo is doing a great job as NXT champion, introducing Naruko, formerly known as Evil, into the WWE universe. He's doing a great job with that and character. Like, that feud's fine. You know, I would say they are definitely two of the biggest stars in NXT right now for sure. So yeah, that works. It's the women though, man, that are really taking NXT over and that are the backbone. The women are the backbone of NXT. Lola Vice is your champion. Fantastic. Kalani Jordan having a little bit of an arc of herself and being this don't mess with me girl after coming in all sunshine and rainbows. I forget what the phrase is, but anyways, now she's this don't mess with me, I don't trust anyone badass. And the rising star of Kendall Gray, that little triangle feud going on. Kendall Gray knocked out Lola inadvertently, allegedly, on Tuesday. And it's great, like, good, builds up their match for the Great American Bash. However, I just wish, it was good. I want to see Kalani in the mix, too. She was going after, I want to see her with a title. Like, I saw her, she teased a little bit with Zarya. Problem is, I don't see anyone really beating Zarya. Also happy Zarya is now a champion and a singles champion. Now she's the dominant, the dominant role woman in the division. Like, don't go after her. She beat Tatum Paxley 2 weeks ago, and now people are saying that Tatum Paxley may be rumored to be main roster bound. I'd be cool with that. Pair her up with Lyra. We're already teasing a Lyra Bailey breakup on Monday, which they better not. You better not. Because I'm a big fan of Bailey and Lyra. They're a fantastic tag team that deserve gold. If there is one tag team that deserves recognition on both sides, men's and women's, it's Bailey and Lyra. Put the goddamn tag team titles on them. Their story's been going on for a year plus at this point. In Vegas the first time, when Bailey had to miss the match because she was attacked by Becky Lynch at Mania, and then they won the titles, Becky and Lyra, lost it the next night, and Becky turns on Lyra. Bailey wouldn't have done that. So, like, give them the titles. And to be Paige and Brie, it's been great. The nostalgia hit was awesome at Mania when they won it, right in the feels. However, it's over. I'm on the come down. Okay, I would like to see a fresh start. Give it to Bailey and Lyra, and then have Fatal Influence go after them. That's great. That's great booking. Do it. I'll call creative. I don't know what their link is, but I'll call them. You just got to give me the link. Like I'm giving you the link. Speakpipe.com/official house show. So many times I can say that in one episode. Speakpipe.com/official house show. It's okay. Yeah. Where was I before I did self-promotion? Bailey, Lyra. Oof, we went on a real tangent. NXT. Yes, NXT. Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley would be great to add to that mix if they actually do end up doing a breakup because of that past friendship with Lyra. Lyra was Tatum's first friend. That was the whole story, is that she's the first friend for Tatum. And then that's why Tatum opened up and then went into the culling with Izzy Dame, and then Izzy Dame turned on her. She couldn't trust anyone anymore. So why not go back to the person that showed you trust in the first place, who's having a little bit of issues with her friend? Makes for great tension and great television. So maybe they should do it. Just don't. Can we have all three? Can we have it all, like a Michael Scott win, where Bailey and Lyra win, and then Tatum comes up to the main roster, and they're a trio faction, perhaps? I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. Okay. We're at the 20-minute mark, so if I had a production crew in front of me, they'd probably be telling me to do some sort of ad read. And I got one for you. The WWE Shop. All right, use our affiliate link down below. Okay, help support the house show so I don't drown in fish and I can be thriving in a life, talking wrestling with you guys. All right, so go to www.shop.com and go get your favorite wrestlers t-shirt, hat, armband, shorts, sweatshirt. They have it all. Okay, they even dropped today Seth Rollins throwback from 2014 when he did turn on his Shield brethren and then became the architect. Yes, became the architect. Hell yeah, Pitts. Became the architect. That whole design of the Seth, it's sick. All right, go check it out right now. Use the link in the description below to get yours today and be styling and profiling all summer long. Woo! Get a Danhausen shirt. The Knicks won the NBA Finals. That's the only time you would ever see me in Knicks attire is if it had Danhausen's face on it. Anyways, what's next? What do I want to talk about next? Well, one letter off is NXT, so let's continue with NXT. I want to see Mason Rook kick Cam Hendricks' ass. I am not a fan of Cam Hendricks. I don't know why. He just rubs me the wrong way. He's really giving Eddie Thorpe vibes, and I don't like it. So Mason Rook needs to kick his ass so that he can get some sort of title shot. Maybe not the NXT World title right now. That's fine. But hey, the North American's pretty good. It's a good start. And then him and Cam Hendricks can feud over it. That's getting younger talent over. See what I mean? That's great. So I like that. What else going on? I want the Ren QCC to stay alive forever. The Birthright is cool. Ariana Grace, I'm pretty sure lost. No, who'd she face? There's so much in my head. Between Red Snapper and who Ariana Grande. See, everywhere. Ariana Grace lost to, but she's in the speed tournament. The Birthright is crushing it. Yeah, it's all NXT because I really want to talk about AEW. They got Forbidden Door coming up June 28th, same day as Slammiversary. And I was a big fan of Dynamite last night, mainly because of the Will Ospreay stuff. Will Ospreay and Death Rider stuff. I really enjoyed that because we're getting more from the Will Ospreay journey to AEW, becoming AEW champion in Wembley Stadium. Him and Swerve's face-off last night was done very well. And I won't go into all of it, but in summary, Will Ospreay or Swerve, Will Ospreay said that he blamed Swerve for being the catalyst of the neck injury because when they won at AEW All In Texas, they went down there to help Hangman Page defeat the Death Riders and take the title away from them so that they can give it to Hangman Page. And Swerve rebutted saying, well, where's that now? Where's Hangman now? All right. He can't challenge for the title anymore. The champion is MJF. I didn't come down with you then because that wasn't timing. That's not what we were supposed to do. And Will Ospreay says, well, you're supposed to stand with your brother in arms and back me up when I go down. You got my back, I got yours. And Swerve says, to hell with that, basically. And then they get into a stiff. It was bleeped out, and then they get Will Ospreay hits him. There's a little one jab. Swerve falls. Prince Nana hands him the chain, wraps it up. He's ready to hit Will Ospreay right in the face until you hear the dun, 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 dun guitar riff. Enter the Death Riders to back up Will Ospreay, their training partner. It's coded. That is so coded. And then Twerp grabs Mike says, "Wow, Will, you really did change." He's joining the team that he once tried to defeat. It's awesome. It's so good. Like, I really was a big fan of that. And the Death Riders being the coolest fucking faction in all of professional wrestling. I'm sorry. If you don't like the Death Riders, I probably do not like you. Okay. They are working every single week. They just had a 5-on-5 street fight on Collision against Shane Taylor Productions, who are essentially Ring of Honor. Marina Shafir got, I think I forget what it's called, but they lift you up like they're going to do a backdrop, but then you land on your butt, and they have your knee on your butt like that. Like you're going to sit in Santa's lap. And they did that to her, but her feet, because she does not wear shoes in the ring, classic MMA, right into glass on her feet and writhing in pain, and then steams, like, turns her feet into it. Like, unbelievable. And then they defeated, obviously, Shane Taylor Productions, but just, like, insanity out of the Death Riders. And they have the, like, coolest entrance ever. If you've ever been on the floor for one of those entrances, it's a euphoric experience. It's unfucking believable. Yeah, so then that was Dynamite. That was what I loved in Dynamite. I mean, the MJF Don Callis saw MJF and Mark Briscoe feud that is now warped in to the Don Callis family vortex. I'm enjoying it from a pure entertainment standpoint because I know the end goal is not, I don't know what that was. Anyways, the end goal is Will Ospreay as AEW champion at the end of AEW All In. So the way I'm viewing it right now is I don't care how we get there. I don't care. All right. The AEW is doing a really good job right now with their shows that I'm trusting TK in this one. But you got to get to Will Ospreay as champion. If you want to do a little hot potato between Mark Briscoe, Andrade, MJF, even like tease Kyle Fletcher maybe, cool. So for it. But if one of those four leave All In as champion, I will burn you to get to the ground. So I just can't. I can't deal with it. All right. Yeah, what else happened? Mercedes Moné is moving on to the finals of the Owen Hart Women's Championship, which, that's my Owen Hart winner right there. Have her be the one to dethrone Tekla. Because she came so close last year. She had every belt in the world last year, but could not win that one. The story writes itself. And Mercedes Moné is definitely, I don't want to say needed, but it's nice to have her back right now. The women's division was kind of floundering a little bit. Chris Statlander has done a great job in becoming one of those top women, but you need more star power. Mercedes Moné definitely brings that. And like she's the CEO. Missing Tony Storm too, from injury, so that's tough. I don't know where. Mina Shirakawa, I think she's strictly on Collision or maybe Ring of Honor. Like, I don't know. And the Megasis, Megan Bain, is stuck dominating the tag division with Lana Cross. So it's like you have top people there, but there's just you have your top people, but you can't utilize them all. It's tough. It's shit out of luck. I'll tell you that. All right, what else do I have to talk about here that happened this week that I watched? Well, TNA is on right now as I record, but I will go back and watch that because I want to give all my attention to the peeps right now. All right, because I really do enjoy. I enjoy talking wrestling. I really do. That's why I want you guys to really call in speakpipe.com/official house show. And literally ask me anything because I am so I have to, for job purposes and even outside of job, because my current career that I have correlates with my family's background in restaurants. So, there's a lot of overlap that talks about this interest, yada yada, and they don't like talking wrestling. No one likes. In my circle doesn't really like talking about it. So I love talking to you guys about it, even if it's at just a camera and I'm in your car or AirPods, whatever, just shooting the shit. I love it. That's why I want you guys to call in, speakpipe.com/Fisher House Show. So I'll answer anything, man. I have people coming out to me at the gym. Someone who tunes in at No Nights Off, Sophia. She's tuned into this a couple times. We just don't go live. She comes up to me, talks wrestling. I just right back. I ain't got time to waste. We're talking wrestling. There's no time wasted. And it's nice to have that. Because imagine or not even imagine, just think of something you love so fucking much. All right, and how much you love talking about it. And you just there's no one to talk to. It's like talking to a wall. Yeah, you have your journal, you get it out of your system, but once it's out, it can't boomerang back to you. So it sucks. So that's why, use speakpipe.com/Fisher House Show. That'd be great. Because there's a lot of shit happening that I just would love to get other people's opinions on. TNA is released so many people this week. From production, creative, and 3 big names. Sami Callihan walked into a meeting and then told he was released. Tommy Dreamer, same thing happened to him. And he was there for 10 years. Sami Callihan just as long, maybe even longer. And Tessa Blanchard, who asked for a release because TNA gave her an ultimatum that it was either TNA or CMLL. And usually this would not be an issue. You can work in other promotions in TNA. They're not at WWE, but they're partnered with WWE. Another wrestling promotion that is partnered with WWE is AAA. AAA is CMLL's rival in Mexico. So it's a bad look when you have someone under technically the WWE umbrella working for the rival promotion. It's not a good look. And the thing is, it's not like, she's taking a couple bookings here and there. No, she's a big star in CMLL. She has a life in Mexico, more so there than here in America. She's engaged to someone in Mexico, so to me, it made the most sense. I didn't think this was her being a diva or how, she has been in the past to deal with. It just made sense. I was like, yeah, of course you're going to choose CMLL. You're because I follow her on Instagram. And she wrestles almost every weekend. She's booked almost every week. So yeah, work to being a top star there. You've already been world champion in TNA. Yeah, I said world champion, not knockouts champion. She beat Sami Callihan for the title, and then that's when all the shit hit the fan with her drama, which I don't feel like talking about here. Go look it up after, or ask a friend, or ask me. Speakpipe.com/Fisher House Show. It makes more sense for her to stay in Mexico, so it's fine, And I want to see what's best for the wrestler. I've learned a long time ago, you don't get attached to one promotion because they're just gonna let you down. How long have I been a WWE fan? I get glimpses of what it's like to be a Cleveland Browns fan, a Jets fan. I'm trying to think of a baseball team like a Rockies fan. Can't think of a hockey one right now, but a Grizzlies fan. Just a team with no hope with WWE in some of their booking decisions in the past. I walked out of my room when Daniel Bryan got eliminated in the Royal Rumble, leading into WrestleMania 31. I left the room. I was so pissed off. I've been there, man. Okay. Goldberg took the title off my favorite wrestler in 30 something seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty. They're not the greatest. I understand that, or not one of my favorites. I mean, but that's why you follow wrestlers, and I'd much rather see Tessa Blanchard become a champion and star in CMLL and help them grow, than have her just sit in catering or sit home, and even worse, sit home and collect a paycheck for TNA just because she wants to stay with TNA and hope to get booked in an angle. I mean, she was in the Dark World with Alicia Fox and insert generic knockout name here. You know, like I was not. It felt so forced, and I don't want that for any wrestler, Tessa Blanchard or anybody. You know, so good for her. Tommy Dreamer, I felt sad about. Tommy Dreamer, I really felt sad about because he was such a focal point in that locker room. The locker room is key in any wrestling promotion. You need to have a good locker room, and Tommy Dreamer was very well liked within the locker room. So for him to go is very tough, and he was crying on Busted Open, and I feel bad for Tommy because he loves this business so much. That's someone who eats, sleeps, and breathes pro wrestling. He said in the Busted Open statement or when he was on the air that he would drive like 13 hours to go to work. I live 20 minutes and I dread it every day. You telling me 13 hours? That's insanity. But here's the thing, Tommy, I would. I get it. That's why I love Tommy Dreamer. Wherever he goes, we'll be very lucky. I would like to see him go to WWE and help them out in creative. I don't know if that will work out logistically, but I would like to see it happen. Hell, even AEW. Like, go somewhere where you're wanted. And yeah. Sammy McCown, I just don't know much about. Like, I was not big into TNA at that time. I wasn't really much of an indie guy until 2022, I think, or 2021. I went to my first Limitless show, and Charles Mason was in the main event in a dog collar match. I think it's Beef, which is hilarious now thinking about it. Charles Mason is now the Hog World Champion, and Beef is now in Ring of Honor. So like, you're now seeing the guys that you just witnessed in some essentially it's just one big barn or gymnasium in Yarmouth, Maine. But to me, that felt like that I was home, and I opened a new door of becoming a wrestling fan. So yeah, the indies I didn't get to till later on. Now I see guys like my dude, the Victorious BRG, and Anthony Green, the best thing in wrestling. On the women's side, Becca, she's great. Izzy Moreno, that's another crazy story too. She's a big name in indie wrestling. She was known as the Bailey Girl. Like just crazy shit how the wrestling world works. Livia, DJ Powers is an asshole. He's an asshole. All right, I want that on the record. DJ Powers is an asshole. All right, put that on the record. Yeah, I love indie wrestling, man. So good. Now that prices for the WWE shows are so outrageous, it almost forces your hand because indie wrestling, when I say cheap, it's not a negative connotation. You want to pay $100, $150 at the least for a WWE ticket, or do you want to pay $20 for front row at an indie show? At an indie show, you can leave with an action figure, an old school action figure, like a collectible. At a WWE show, you leave by tripling the amount you paid for your ticket with twice as less. It's crazy. That's just food and drinks. Yeah, indie shows are the friggin' best. I implore everyone to go to one. And when you do, hit my line, speakpipe.com/official house show, and let me know what you thought of it. Who was your favorite wrestler? Is there someone that you loved and I've never heard of? I will go and look them up. I watch so much. God damn. What do we got? We got 40 minutes. That's another 20-minute. I know how TV works. If we had a production crew, that's manifest. Putting a production crew there, give me the signal to give another ad read. All right, and this ad read is no other side for the company on my head. 47, the best in casual sports attire. They just have their spring collection out. Fuego. I love the logos on the shirts. Everyone's looking stylish, and you can go get yours today using our link below to help support the house show. As I said, do you want me to keep drowning in fish, or do you want me to be thriving and alive, talking wrestling with you guys? Like, come on, just let me know. All right, all you're doing is buying yourself something cool to help me. It's a win-win-win. Michael Scott. Anywho, I want to take the last however long to pretty much demonstrate why I am the walking encyclopedia for wrestling, because it was so cool. Or a little bit of that, and also give a little bit of insight on my favorites in wrestling, because I feel like with wrestling content now, everyone wants to just give their opinion and try to be right and book the show, which I absolutely do with the Nonsense Wrestling Federation, which I do over at No Nights Off. I am a fake booker, of course, and love doing that, fantasy booking. However, I just love being a fan too. I just enjoy liking a dude. What happened? Oh, is my computer going to freeze again? That's ass. All right, let it pass. All right, KB, there's a good headshot for you. My computer is old. I wonder if you can get your computer renovated, or how they do a detail of your car. Oh my god. Okay. I kind of lost where I was going with that thought. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I want to have you peeps get to know me a little bit. I call myself the walking encyclopedia of wrestling, and it's just because I watch a lot, I know it all, and I will become Stash Club wrestling champion at some point. That challenge is out there. The Jimmy and the Q. I don't know if you guys saw this. Last week I did issue a challenge, and I keep issuing a challenge every goddamn week. And when I did this week on Twitter, Jimmy responded, and he wants to get into the house show. You get this? Jimmy wants to stop by the house with his good pal Jack Quinn. All right. I'm going to get that belt. Rocket Raccoon in this bitch. Jimmy from the Q responds to the tweet that House Show had. Jimmy responded to the tweet that the House Show had about me being basically Rocket Raccoon, who wanting the Bucky's arm in Avengers. And Jimmy responds by saying, when I eventually die of heart failure in the next 3 years, I'll include in the will Pitts gets a title shot versus John. That's some harsh words. I think I deserve one before 3 years. I think, and I responded with after my performance last episode. I think I earned it. You know what I mean? And then he called out his buddy, Jack Quinn, to come in the house show and do a little trivia off. A little bit of number one contenders match, or eliminator, basically. So this is it. Come on the house show. Let's set it up. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Any trivia you got? I'm gonna ask. Let's get some trivia going. All right. I'm telling you right now, I know ball. If there's one person in the wrestling world who knows ball, it's Patty fucking Pitts. All right. Give me trivia questions. Give me pro wrestling trivia questions. All right, here we go. Asking my buddy Finn. All right. So this is the easy round. All right. It's the easy round. 10 questions. Here we go. Who ended The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak? It was Brock Lesnar. What year did John Cena make his debut on the main roster? 2002. Which wrestler's catchphrase was "If you smell what they're okay"? It's The Rock. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, kind of says it. Who was the first Universal Champion? Finn Balor. What was the name of WWE's developmental brand before it became NXT? That is FCW. The Hardy Boys are Matt and Jeff Hardy. All right. Who won the first ever women's Royal Rumble? Asuka. What city hosts WWE's Hall of Fame ceremony most years during WrestleMania weekend? The city that they're in. What color briefcase does the Money in the Bank winner traditionally carry? Green in this current era. And the Viper is Randy Orton. All right, so that's a 9 out of 10, I think, because the WrestleMania Cities one, it's every year that they're in the city, that they're in. That's the whole point. I don't. So who did Stone Cold Steve Austin defeat to win his first WWF Championship? That is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 14 in Boston. That's right. The Austin era has begun. Main event of WrestleMania X7 was Stone Cold Steve Austin winning the WWE Championship for the second time at WrestleMania, this time against The Rock. The leader of D-Generation X when the group was first formed, that was HBK. Okay, HBK. And what was the name of Mick Foley's 3 most famous personas? Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and Mankind. Which WWE pay-per-view was known for featuring elimination matches between teams? That is Survivor Series, happening every Thanksgiving. Okay. Youngest WWE champion in history is Brock Lesnar. Yeah, it is. Brock Lesnar, King of the Ring, 2002. Yeah. 2002. Because then he would face The Rock at SummerSlam 2002. The main event of 2001 was Rock Booker T. Yeah. Okay. Who became I said that one. Which wrestler ended CM Punk's 434-day championship reign? Do you smell what I'm cooking? Because that is The Rock. At the Royal Rumble 2013. 13. It was 13. All right. And then here we go. That's it. Like, freaking crushed it. Oh, I got it right. Yeah. So I actually did go 10 for 10. I literally did go. I went 20 for 20. All right. So literally, you just got that many questions from my pal Finn. All right. Give me your questions. I'll freaking answer it. I'll have KB keep a tracker on how many points I have over you because I'm that much better than you. Do it, Jimmy. Let's go. Let's get on it. All right. I'm ready to go. All right. I need another belt. See, like, okay, so you see how I have this one right here, right there. All right, that. Now, I feel like we put the Stash Club right here. That would look really good. That would look really good, guys. Let me know if you agree. Speakpipe.com/official house show. That's all I got. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. All right. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. Please leave your voicemails. It really means a lot. And you guys are the engine behind this F-150. Dog. Yeah. So please, speakpipe.com/official house show to leave a voicemail. Literally anything. I'll fucking answer anything. And then if you are watching on YouTube, please hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button to know every time that we post a new episode or a new video. And maybe you can't watch on video. I get it. You just want to listen in the car when you're driving. I love podcasts. We are on every podcast app, okay? Apple, Spotify, we're there. Leave a 5-star rating and a review. Here's the thing. You don't have to just call in speakpipe.com/official house show to get on the show. You can just leave a review because we'll start reading them. We'll read everything because we want to hear from the peeps. The peeps are the show. So, and then follow us on all social media platforms at Real House Show on Twitter and at Official House Show on Instagram and TikTok. Follow me personally at Paddy Pitts, PADDYPITTS on all social media platforms. If you want to tweet at me, anything, I'll answer it. But you got to do it. All right? So thank you all for tuning into this edition of the House Show. God bless. And remember that you can do it. All you can do is try. Oh, I got poses. Poses for Kyle. What's like the this? No, but you gotta do the backwards hat if you can do that. Then do a little flex there. What's up? Diamond, a little DDP. Get my face in there. Hi! All right, that's it. All right, wrap it up.